Hi there, today I'm going to walk you through a felting tutorial. It's quick and easy of Holly the Hedgehog. Just wait till you see the sweet little surprise she has hidden behind the flower on the screen. My name is Kathy, I'm with More Fun with Felt. Welcome to my channel. Let's go ahead and start needle felting together. So we're going to start with core wool. This is a roving, I have about 12 inches there, and this roving I got from Serafina Fiber Arts. Just your basic core wool, and I am rolling it up in pretty tightly in a cylinder. It's going to end up being like an oval shape at the end by the time that we get done with it. I'm using here a 38 spiral to go ahead and tack that down. When you do this, you want to make sure that you are tacking the flared edges down as well as moving from the outside in so that you can get a rounded end. So I'm just going to be taking this needle, going all the way around, turning and poking as I go. Just trying to create that rounded end. I'm not going to speed anything up today. This is a very short little video. So I want you to really be able to see the entire process. I think that's important, especially if you can do something in under an hour. That way you can do the entire thing with me. Maybe watch it all the way through once and then come back and do it with me once you get all the supplies. I'm also going to be putting all the supplies that you need up on the screen, so you'll have no problem knowing what to use and what to buy if you need to buy anything. So I'm still turning and felting, just going continuously around, trying to get a nice firm felt. Also making sure that the base is very rounded. The way that you're directing your needle is the way that the felt, the wool is going to shape. So if you're purposely directing it in a round manner, it is going to follow your needle. Here I just turned it over and I folded the end down almost like a package, like if you're wrapping a Christmas present. I'm tacking that down as well, and that fold made like a natural round for me, so all I have to do is just felt it in. Still using the same needle, the 38 spiral. As I'm felting and turning, I'm also with my other hand feeling the density of the wool. I do want it to be pretty firm to the touch. Not so firm that I can't felt anything else into it, but when I press it down, I want to be able to have a little bit of resistance. That's the feel that you're looking for as you're felting this together. Going over it one more time here just to make sure that everything is down. We don't want any flyaways. We want both ends very rounded. Now I'm just feeling it to see if I've got the density that I want. And I'm also taking a look here just to see which one I want to be the head, which end I want to be the head, and which end I want to be the belly. So this is a carded wool from Living Felt that I'm putting on right now. It's called Winter White. And all I'm doing is just taking a very small, it's probably 2 inches by 2 inches, little sheet, folding it over, And with the clover pen, tacking that down around where the belly and the head should be. As I go around it, you'll see me folding under, and that fold is going to make a very fine felted edge so that it looks clean and neat at the end. My clover pen has two 40 triangles in it. You can really use any fine needles that you want to get this effect. So right there you can see I'm just picking the wool up, folding it over just to make my own edge, and I'm going to continue tacking it down. As I'm doing this, I'm trying to make like a natural little bump where the face is going to be and a natural little bump where the belly is going to be. If we need to add more later, we can always do that, but for now, I'm just trying to start already with my needle shaping the face and the belly. So you can see there I'm kind of coming from the outside towards the center, and that's giving me a little bit of roundness and height towards the center of the face. Going to do the same thing here for the belly. Just trying to get everything down, smooth, and shape what should look like a little chubby belly. Right here I'm smoothing it out with my fingers, just trying to get any needle marks that I might see just sort of moved out of there. By rubbing it with your finger you can smooth it and sometimes get rid of those. So now I am taking the 38 again. It's a stronger needle, and I am making a little upside down moon shape right underneath where the chin should go. So this is giving me basically a separation from the head and the body. It's just a visual separation. Taking a little bit more of the winter white, and I'm rolling it now in a cone shape. So one end is going to be thinner than the other end, and here you can see that. So the part that I'm holding on the right hand side is smaller. I am felting that down, starting with the 38 just to get it tacked down, turning and felting. Right now I'm only focusing on the right hand side. I'm only focusing on what's going to be the end of the nose. I roll it in my hands to continue the felting process. Now I'm going to take my 42. Since this is a finer needle, the 42 is really good for like fine tuning and making things get very smooth, well rounded. So I'm just going to go over that, felting and turning. I'm creating the end of the nose, the tip of the nose with this 42. Anything that wasn't round before, I'm trying to continue rounding it with the finer needle. Just keep turning and felting until you feel it's good. And now I'm going to go ahead and open up the end of that wide and flat, and then I'm going to place that over the face, and this is going to be our little hedgehog nose. So just take your 42 and get all of that fluff tacked down. This is going to also give you a little bit more like girth to the head. It's going to make it a little bit more chubby. And you just want to tack all those little loose flyaways down. I'm going straight into the nose just to sort of push that down and make it not so pointy. And this is my clover pen tool again. I'm just coming back around just to sort of finish the smoothing process on the face and see where I am as far as the placement of the nose and the height of the nose. So right above the nose, it didn't feel like it was thick enough or chubby enough up there. I really like a cute little chubby hedgehog, so I added a little bit more. It's probably not even an inch of the carded winter white. Just laid it over the nose and going back over the entire thing again. Just have to make a decision on the way that you want it to look, and if you have enough or you feel you have enough, you don't have to do this step. Going straight into the nose is okay, and then up under that chin also just helps, you know, continue that separation from the head and the body. Just take a look now at anything that you think might just need to be felted a little more. Go over it and fine-tune the entire face and belly. It's looking pretty good. So this is a core wool from Serafina Fiber Arts. It's called Coffee Bean. I pulled off again probably just a 2" by 2" piece here. Turned the hedgehog over, laid this across the back, and I am just starting to felt it in sort of right on the center of the back. I just want to start on the center first, and then we're going to do the same thing that we did with the white. I'm folding the edges over, and I'm making a very fine fold, and it's laying right where I want it to lay, meeting the white that I put on earlier. As you're folding, sort of take a look at where it's laying across the forehead. You don't want it down too far on the forehead. You're going to want it a little bit back, but it does have to cover, you know, the majority of the head. I'm just going to keep folding. And once I get it where I want it, I'm going to just keep felting it in with my clover pen tool. It's already looking so cute. This is so easy. It's just such a great beginner project. And when you see what we put in her hands at the end, you're going to just absolutely love it, I know. Just keeping that as a little surprise for you, just because it's so much fun. So I'm just taking that tool and I'm going around the entire surface of the head, and then I will continue around the body. We're just making a fine line with the fold, making sure that it overlaps where you feel that it should. So you're going to want to see, you know, it rounded around the belly and around the face, and just keep tacking it down with your clover pen tool. I felt like I had a little too much there, and I pulled some off. So you just decide what you feel that you need to do, and everything's pretty much okay. It's hard to make a mistake when you're felting. You can always change it. So just continuing that felting process here, just going back around, and we're going to make sure everything's felted down really, really well. As I do this, I'm just looking at the body, and I'm looking at where the brown meets the white, making sure that it looks the way I want it to look. And if you see anything that is a little bit out of place, just pull a little bit more off and tack it down, just like I did here. I felt like I didn't have enough on the forehead here, so I went ahead and just grabbed what I had pulled off from the bottom and just stuck it on the top. I'm lining up the two folds. So needle felting is so awesome because when you layer the wool and you start to felt it together, it's just like almost impossible to even see where they're joined together. So I'm going to end up doing that on both sides and just bringing that a little bit more down on the forehead. I felt like it was too far back. Now it's pretty much in place here, so I can go a little faster with the pen tool, have it where I want it. Just kind of sizing her up here and just making sure everything's where I want it to be. Taking that 42 triangle again and smoothing out pieces that I see might be rough, especially where that the line is around the face and the body. Just going all the way around that line, smoothing it out and felting it down. Just take your time with this. If you're not doing it as fast as this, just pause and get it the way that you want it before you move on. That's okay. So she's looking pretty good. Thinking about what I'm going to be adding next. So these two colors are both from Living Felt. It's a peach and a color called clay. I'm going to work on the top of the face now, and I'm putting them in my hands and just blending them. And I like to just layer them on top of each other, pull and turn, pull and turn, pull and turn. And when I do that, I get a really good blend. And then you just need a little tiny bit here. And this is not required. I've owned 2 hedgehogs in my life, and both of them had a little brown on their face. So I just think it's really, really cute. But not everybody adds the brown to the face. If you like it white, you don't have to do this part at all. Completely your choice. It's up to you. But I'm just laying it over the top of the nose and where the eyes are going to go, up to where my brown line came, and just tacking that in. Now I'm taking just a little bit, flattening flattening it out, folding it over, and I'm going to go right on that fold, and I'm going to give her just a little bit of a cute little hairline. I just kind of like when they have their own little character. Sometimes with a boy, I might give him a little pompadour or a little side bang haircut. So it just depends. They sell really well at my trade shows when they have a little character like that. So I'm just giving her a little bit of a poof. It looks crazy right now, but we will cut it down. So I'm just going to cut into the hair, trimming it kind of rounded, and then cutting just straight into it, almost like you would do as on a real haircut. And I'm going to use my needle to sort of spread that out and get the loose fibers off. She's looking so cute. Just keep doing that until you feel comfortable or you like how it's looking. And again, this part is also not necessary. If you don't want a little bit of hair on the top, you don't have to do that. I just think it looks really cute. Once we put the ears on, they all kind of blend together. I'm just taking my clover pen tool here and just tacking that down, making sure that it is grounded there in the forehead. And this is my black. It's an MC1 wool that I get from Living Felt as well. I'm just taking a little tiny bit, rolling it, and shaping it into a circle. When you do this in your hands, you are starting the felting process. It actually really helps a lot. And I'm going to put it on the end of the nose, and again with my 42, I'm just going to start tacking that on the end of the nose. As I'm doing this, I'm making a little circle shape. So I'm directing my needle to form that circle. So anything that might be wonky or out of the circle, I'm just pulling that into the circle. And you do want to be very gentle here. The reason I'm using the finer needle, the 42, is because if you used your 38 on this, you would probably just push the entire nose, into the face. So you definitely don't want to do that. You just want to be very gentle. Use that 42 or even something finer and tack it in. And then these are the two 40s, just sort of, again, taking the needles and refining everything, making sure it all looks good. Just keep using those needles for shaping. Looking good, looking good. Okay. Now it's time for the eyes, and we're just taking two little tiny pieces. Make sure that they're even. You're gonna lay it on the forehead between the base of the nose and the hair that you put on. And you're going to take your 42 and you're just going to start poking in the center of that little tuft of wool. Just keep poking in the center, and anything that looks like it's not going, you can just very gently drag it with the tip of the needle. You don't want to forcefully push it or you could break your needle. So I'm already starting like the little folding process to get the circle, popping it on there, and then going right in the center. Watch your fingers here because these are very, very fine little baby areas that you can poke yourself pretty easily. So doing just the same thing. You want to watch your other eye as you're doing this, just so you can make sure that they're in the right position and also the same size. So I'm just at this point trying to mirror the other eye. That looks so cute. So this is pink. It is a pre-felt, and it's by Living Felt. It's just called pink, and I really love this pink for cheeks and mouths on a lot of my little felted creatures, especially the girls. I love to give them cute little pink cheeks. It just starts to bring their character to life. I put a very, very fine layer on. You don't want it super thick. Just a little fine layer so it gives the essence of a rosy cheek. Super cute. She's already getting her character here, you can see. She's adorable. Now I'm going to add the mouth. I tried pink first just to see what I thought it would look like, and I changed my mind and decided to go for just a little bit of black. I was liking how the black was looking against the white there, standing out really well. So you can put this wherever you want, underneath the nose. Sometimes I do a little side grin, a little side smile. Sometimes I do a big line from one side to the other. This time I decided just to do a cute little tiny, almost like an upside down moon shape. Just a tiny one. So it's time for the hands and feet. This is, again, by Living Felt. It's a carded skin tone color called Peachy. I do use this color a lot on dolls that I make and gnomes, that kind of thing. So I just wanted a contrast. I could have gone with a pink or even another brown, but I really just like a contrast when I'm working with 2 or 3 different colors, especially for little woodland animals. All I'm doing here is just pinching off 4 little equal parts, and then rolling them in a ball and just felting them into a ball on the bottom and for the arms. Super simple. Just wanted to pop out a little bit, just to give the idea of a foot. On this particular one, this is very much like a little mythical woodland creature, so we don't go into a whole lot of detail on her arms and legs, but her detail is going to come a little bit later when we basically just dress her up and put her into her character. We're just going to do the same thing for the other foot. Again, I love that this is a really fast, easy project so that you can actually see the entire felting process, and It doesn't have to be speeded up for you. It's handy to speed things up, but sometimes I think it also takes away from what you're actually doing, so you can this way watch the entire process. I think that's good. This part of the felting process is so therapeutic. One of the things that I actually use this for is because I have a lot of stress and anxiety, and when I felt, I just go into like a very peaceful place. And I hope that that felting brings that to you as well. It definitely is a therapy. It's a form of therapy. She's looking pretty cute. She's got her little feet. You can always go back and fine-tune those. Get them exactly the way you want them. If you wanted to, you could also take a little bit of that pink and put it on the end, the tips of the toes, or even a little bit of blush and put that on the tips of the toes if you'd like. I didn't do that here, but I do that on some of the creatures. So now I'm just kind of blending this again. I didn't feel it was blended enough. And then I'm going to break it into 2 equal parts for the little hands. And we're doing the same exact thing here. So basically just make it into a little rounded circle. Now these you do want to poke out just a little bit because she is going to be holding her surprise that you'll be seeing very, very shortly. We're about to uncover that flower that's on the screen. That flower's been covering her little surprise up this entire time. So these are all being put on with the 42. It's really good for fine work like this. The 38 is great for like the beginning of a project, or if you really need to like root something in. It's great for that. So like if you're adding blocks or you're adding fur or something like that onto a felted piece, a 38 or a 36, those are really, really good for that job. They're more like a power needle. The 42 is very fine and delicate. Great for these little details. The hands are looking so cute. Just making sure that they are facing forward so that they can hold what she's going to hold. Yay, look at her, she's so cute. Okay, now we're going to work on the ears. So I am getting, I'm going to be using the clay color on one side. This is just a regular piece of felt. It's a sheet of felt that you can get just at Hobby Lobby. It's nothing special. It doesn't have to be a certain percentage of wool or anything like that. I'm taking the clay color that I used earlier and I'm putting that on one side. And then felting that in with my clover pen tool. Then I'm going to turn it over and put the peachy on the other side. So this is going to be the inside of the ears, and of course the clay is going to be the outside of the ears. The felt piece is going to make the ears sturdy and more cuttable and more foldable. So it's going to give you a pretty nice little ear to be able to felt down. Don't always use the pre-felt, but I really do like how it works on the smaller ears. It helps me with the smaller ears to be able to really get the shape that I want and to hold its shape while I'm felting it into my little creature. So now I've already done the punch tool on both sides, and I took my clover pen tool and I just kind of went sideways at like a 45-degree angle at the end there. I'm cutting out like a little semicircle, and I'm just going to fold it over and then cut out the shape of the ear. So now it's doubled, so as I'm cutting this, both of the ears are going to be cut at the same time. And I'm going to make sure that they both match. And I'm just, basically just cutting a little shape that I think is going to look cute. It just looks like the end of your pinky finger, basically. It's just that shape. It's probably 1/4 of an inch if even. Just make sure that they're rounded. So sometimes it's hard to get them both even when you're making that cut. Here I am taking the 38, and again, in a place like this, it's like a power tool. Tacking it down from the front, and then I will flip it over, flip the ear down, and tack it from the back. I'm just going at the base of the ear and pushing it straight into the head, and I'm going from the left to the right, covering the entire bottom of the ear. These ears are positioned just a little bit into the fur behind the forehead and behind the eyes. So I'm just going over the entire bottom on both sides, front and back. If you have to fold it down like that to get to it, that's okay. Be very, very careful of your fingers here. Super easy to poke yourself. I think this is the first video I have not poked myself on. I do it all the time. So now I'm kind of just making sure that everything is blending. I picked up my 42 again, fine-tuning again. You can see a pattern there. Okay, so this is the big reveal, what she's going to be holding. This is from Hobby Lobby. It's a Mayberry Street miniature. And when I bought this and I started her, of course I thought she was going to be able to hold the entire tray of cookies. But she is too tiny. So I buy miniatures from Hobby Lobby like this. And then they help me, the miniatures actually help me dream up what I'm going to be making, if that makes any sense. Sometimes I buy the miniature first and then I think of the woodland animal or the creature that's going to hold them. So since this was too big, you can see me here struggling, trying to actually pull it apart. I tried a few different things and I did eventually get it. Persistence pays off. So she couldn't hold the whole tray, so I just held that little cookie tray up to her. That looked like the right size. And I took that off the big tray, and then I pulled her little red and white towel off, and the ice cream that was there, pulled it all off, and you improvise. I'll use the tray and the ice cream on another project, so just tuck that aside. I trimmed off the edges of the little towel that looked ragged because I pulled them off, and I'm just placing this underneath the cookies, almost like she's going to be holding that as a hot pad or a little towel to keep herself from getting burned as she serves the cookies to her friends. She's so cute. I'm going to cut that little edge off, and then I'll glue this little towel straight to the bottom of the cookie tray. Moving my mat out of the way so we don't get glue on it. And my mess that I've already made for you here. So I turn the tray over. I've had my hot glue gun going. I'm getting ready. I'm going to put just a little dab there. And I want to position the towel on the bottom of the cookie tray where it's hanging off in the front of her. So it's going to be even on the side that she's holding, and it's going to be sort of hanging off the edge on the front so you can see it. That gives it a cute little look. And then I'm just sizing it up to her little hands to see where I want it. I started by just trying to put a little bit of glue on the end of the cookie tray. You'll see in a second this didn't really work too well, so I had to put it directly on her little hand. Every piece is going to be completely different. So, nope, that didn't work. Let's try the glue on her hand. Be careful when you're doing the hot glue not to overdo it because the hot glue will show up. So I always try when I'm doing little scenes like this just to put a tiny little dab. It's enough to bond with the wool and to hold it. I do put more when I'm adhering a piece to a base. You'll see I put a lot of glue to the base, but that can be covered up. On these kinds of details, you don't want a whole lot of glue. Use your fingers, press the little hands into the cookie sheet until it dries. She's really cute. So here I didn't like how the towel was completely sticking out. Just put a little tiny piece of glue, like just not even too much at all, and roll the end of that towel over just to make it look a little bit more natural, like it's just folded over or, you know, flopping down as she's carrying it. You can see here some of the cookies on the tray are eaten already, so I kind of feel like she ate them before she's delivering them to her friends. So now I am going to give her some accessories. This is a little flower. It's a paper flower. I did buy it at Hobby Lobby in the scrapbook area. I cannot tell you the brand of this flower. I don't have the original packaging anymore, but you can still find them all over the place at Hobby Lobby. And then this thing that I'm struggling to open is little baby resin butterflies. I got them on Amazon. I'm going to post the name here for you. They're micro resin butterflies, and they're teeny. So I really enjoy adding these to my little woodland creatures. I start here by putting one on a cookie as if she's outside, and a little butterfly just landed on the cookie tray. If your hands are too big to hold those little things, you can always use tweezers. I've gotten used to holding them, but in the beginning I always had to use tweezers. So now the glue is going on the bottom of her, and I'm using this little wood disc that I got at Hobby Lobby, making sure she's centered, and I do want to just hold her in place until that glue sets. She's looking adorable. I hope you guys think so too. Can't wait to see you guys making these. If you do make them, post them on my Facebook page, Find Me, and More Fun with Felt, and let me see what you've done. I can't wait to see. So I'm just holding her down, making sure that she is super solid on that base. And honestly, you could stop here if you wanted to. I like to do little decorated scenes. So I ended up adding some locks. This is going to be another little butterfly on her nose, on the end of her nose. I chose blue this time. You'll see the locks in a second. I love the whimsy. So that little butterfly just went on the end of her nose. Super cute. She's adorable. Yep. She thinks so too, apparently. So you could stop here if you want. I am going to add, like I said, some locks to make it look like she's in a little grassy meadow with some flowers. This is my lock bag that I have. Just all my extra locks go into. The first ones that I'm going to be using here, they're by, they were made by Lion Gate Farms. They're called Treetop. That's the color. Now, if you can't find that specific color, it's okay, because she doesn't always duplicate the same color over and over. She's a small little family-owned business, and she makes what she makes and she sells it. You might not ever get Treetop again, but just everything you get from her is beautiful, and her locks are very nice. So I'm just going to start placing them around the base. And finding just where I feel that they naturally just look good, and start gluing them down. I kind of folded the end in so that it's not fuzzy. It's folded under and all you're going to be seeing is just a beautiful piece of the lock. There was a little strand fly away there. I just pulled that off. And then I'm just going to find some more pieces and go all the way around the base here. When you're pulling your locks apart, just be very gentle with them so that you're not, messing up the curls. I try to find where it naturally is going to pull apart and just very gently break it away from the rest of the pack. So by putting this completely around her, it looks like she is just sitting in the grass or sitting in a little meadow. Gives her a lot of color. The green and the pink look really, really good together. She's adorable. Now, I was going to try the pink pre-felt, but I decided to go ahead and go with pink locks. So in this bag of locks, I've been saving these for years, and I have some pink that I had gotten on a project from Serafina Fiber Arts, and I'm just pulling out random pinks and cranberries. So anything that I think would look really good as a little flower. So when you use locks as a flower, it gives a suggestion of a flower. It's not going to look like a real flower, but just to the eye that glances at it, it gives that suggestion of a flower. And I really like to use them when I do like little fairy houses and that kind of thing. I always put them in my greenery. So I'm just cutting them down into little tiny stubs, basically. And the ones that look the best are going to be the ones chosen to go on the grass. Now you can just randomly put them where you think they should go. I always try to find like an empty spot. So if there's a little bit of the brown showing, or there's a little dip in the grass, I just kind of pop them where I think they're going to look most natural. And as you go around and you're placing the flowers, just keep looking back and seeing if like maybe it looks like it's missing something, and you can always go back and add another one if you feel like it needs that. You'll get those little pesky strings of hot glue. So I always just have to pull them off. Keep moving on there. I had some wood showing, so I did put one on the wood. A little out of the picture there, I'm sorry. This is just about the end here. She's looking just about done. So I do want to just thank you so much for watching this today. Yep, she is done. Look how cute. She's just so cute. So see how everything really, really matches together once you get all the color on her, and the pinks and the flowers and the cookies. So you can find me on Facebook, More Fun with Felt, and on Instagram at More Fun with Felt, and on Shopify. I have a store where you can buy any of these little felted creations that I make. And again, www.morefunwithfelt. Let's look at what is coming up next. So next time I am going to be showing you how to make mummies. I'm so excited about this. We're making Halloween mummies, and it's super easy, and again, a beginner project, and we're going to put all kinds of fun things in their arms. So thank you so much for watching today. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.